an Alberta beef dip and a Saskatchewan lentil salad with Chef Dav. And we're going to start with the beef dip. Here's what you need to follow along. You need beef chuck roast, garlic, onion, whole grain Dijon, rosemary, thyme, some bay leaves, Worcestershire sauce, soy sauce, red wine, brown sugar, and some water. Okay, Dev, sounds amazing. Take it away, my friend.
Tracy, I can't wait. And we can't talk about the prairies. I can't talk about the prairies and not mention Alberta beef. What a great way to use that as, some kind of motivation and inspiration today to make this roast beef dip sandwich. I have all the ingredients that you mentioned under here because there are countless wasps in and around me. I thought it was sweet enough. Apparently not. First thing we're going to need for this. Oh, there's a wasp right on it there. Can you see them? It's really crazy, but it's all good. This is cooking at home. This is cooking outside with the elements. We have to share this world, right? So we have a blade roast here. Hello, little friend. And what we're going to do is I'm going to remove this string, and I'm going to get rid of that. Your butcher will probably truss it. That way it holds its shape, but we're not interested in that today because I want to get this right into my crock pot. If you don't have a crock pot at home, I suggest you use a deep baking dish, and then you can just mimic this. What we want to do is we want to cook low and slow. When you're working with a chuck roast or blade roast like this, there's a lot of intermuscular fat, as you can see. It's not as tender as a tenderloin. So you need to take your time low and slow and cook out these muscle fibers and connective tissues. It takes a while. This recipe is going to take me about 6 hours. So what we're going to do is we're going to slice this up into pieces, but into our crock pot or into your braising dish at home, I just have some vegetables. This is your standard Mirepoix, and it's going to have celery, onion, and carrot, and we want to create a nice bed for this to sit on. I didn't even peel the carrot. The carrots are washed. I stopped peeling carrots. I don't do it anymore. The bulb of garlic, I just sliced it in half, okay? So that's all that is there is that bulb of garlic. That's going to go in here, just like that. No rhyme or reason here. I want to slice this down into more manageable pieces. Why? It's going to cook faster. Can we get a close-up of that? This is real life happening here. You are now part of the recipe, friend. My sous chef. The meat is in here. We need to add in some more flavors. As I mentioned, whole grain Dijon is going to go in. This is Montreal steak spice. It's not on the menu, but I love the flavor that it gives. And at the end there, we have garlic powder. Let it go everywhere. Onion powder, way more than we need. I took the lid off and it all poured out. I should have known better. A lot of brown sugar. I like brown sugar. It adds a good amount of sweetness. And we have some Worcestershire sauce. A lot of people have problems pronouncing that. Worcestershire. Bay leaves go in. A little bit of red wine. Red wine that you would drink, okay? That goes in. Bees like that. And we're going to add in now some soy sauce. We want to add some water. And I'll turn the crock pot onto medium. If you're cooking this in the oven, go at 275 or 300 for 6 hours, okay? That's what we're looking for. You want to get this up to a boil before you put it into the oven as well. But in this case, I'm just going to put the crock pot on, and I'm literally going to walk away. Also, while we're on this subject, I want to talk about a quick rosemary mayo that we're going to make, okay? So what I have here is just some mayonnaise. And this is going to be for our sandwich. When we make our roast beef dip, I have a lot of baguette inside, but when we make our roast beef dip, I want there to be something nice and creamy, and I don't like when bread is not seasoned, okay? So that's why we're going to add into this, chop up some rosemary quickly, and I'm going to add in a little bit of onion powder and garlic powder as well. We're going to add in a bit of salt, rough chop on the rosemary. I really want it to stand out, and that's essentially our rosemary mayo. And Trace, I want to spend just a quick few seconds talking about the next dish that we're doing, the Saskatchewan lentil salad, and I'd love for you to go over the ingredients that we'll need at home.
I'm going to do that right now. So if you want to follow along with the next part of his recipe, it's going to be a lentil salad. Here's what you need. You need some quinoa, some lentils, red pepper, scallion. You need a carrot, garlic, whole grain mustard, and parsley.
I just want to talk about the lentils here that I'm using. Extremely nutritional and dense. I'm eating a lot more lentils now than I've ever eaten. All I did was simply boil these for 25 minutes. That's all I did. Beautiful lentils, packed with flavor, and a lot of them come from Saskatchewan. Then we have our quinoa. I've cooked quinoa on Cityline for sure. A lot of recipes online, and what we're gonna do is, I love putting quinoa in salads and grain salads. I just take any opportunity to sneak it in there. So these have been previously cooked off. So let's bring a bowl over. To that bowl, let's add in some beautiful Dijon mustard. Nice and peppery, good body. Next to that, we're gonna add in apple cider vinegar. Now, let's go carefully retrieve the honey. Voila! Honey goes in. Yes, it's real life. And then we're gonna add in some lemon juice, okay? Lemon juice, apple cider vinegar, honey. Remove the honey now, and some Dijon. We're gonna add in a good squeeze of olive oil. We're gonna add in, season everything, a good pinch of salt. Did I say that? A good pinch of salt. Move this around. Because of the honey and the Dijon, I could whisk it, but just by using a spoon, I'll be able to achieve an emulsification. Emulsification, two liquids becoming homogeneous. Two liquids that normally wouldn't go together, like acid and fat, right? And you can see here, because of the thickness of those ingredients, we have a pretty, that's what's just basically emulsified, right? So that's pretty cool. One bowl, one mess. Beautiful lentils. They go in. These were 20-25 minutes. Still have a little bit of a bite, but they're fully cooked through, just how I like them. Next, let's go in and add our quinoa I mentioned before. I love adding these ancient grains into a lot of different things that I do. Lentil salads, bean salads, into chilies, great in soup as well, but super nutritious, super colorful, super fun. Let's add all the quinoa in there. Yeah, I don't know if it was the honey or not, but the bees are still, the wasps are still here everywhere, but haven't been bit yet. To that, we're gonna add in some carrot. Carrot, again, very tasty, but you'll notice that I have all these different colors going in there. Here's the green, the red, sorry, from the red pepper, and next we have the green. Gonna clean as I go. Always make space. Quinoa falling out. We're gonna add in some parsley from my garden. This is gonna add in a lot of freshness. Now you gotta think, this salad is that honey mustard vinaigrette that we made, these fresh herbs that are going in there, that quinoa for texture and flavor, as well as those nutrient-packed lentils. So this is a very satiating, satisfying meal. If you want to run some kind of chicken through this, or shrimp, or salmon, tuna, tofu, you know, you can add a lot of different things, but it's a very, very beautiful salad. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour it out onto this plate here. I was gonna pour it towards you, but I can't afford to make a mess here. And look how beautiful that looks when we pile that up. All the colors, stunning. A little bit more for a sheen on top, more flavor, a little bit more olive oil. And lastly, we're gonna chop some chives for the last garnish. Everything here is from my backyard. Chives on. Okay, we only have a little bit of time left, and we have one big dish to finish. Let's talk about our dip. I'm gonna take our Rosemary Mayo. Are we gonna do both sides, Tracy, or just one side?
Do both sides. Both sides. I'm saucy.
Hello, friend. Yeah, I just touched the wasp. Why not? Both sides, generously. If you want to do one side, that's fine. I'm just going to kindly decline your offer to eat with you. I'm just kidding. I'll still eat with you. I'm just teasing. I like a lot of mayo. I like a lot of sauce. I like things creamy. The sauce boss for a reason. Let's top with some arugula now. And now what I want you to see is the meat that we have. 6 hours. Let's put the meat here. We'll get a close-up. I'll leave that there. And you'll notice this is just one piece that I pulled out, but just completely flakes apart. Unbelievable. And I can fan it out right on top. While I have them, let's get a couple carrots in there. They're super soft. I'll push them down so you can see the consistency of them. We also have some onion. And we're going to put a little bit more onion on top. Good amount of meat. Let's connect the sides. And here we have the sandwich. And in our big glass dish here would be the dipping jus. So we have the Saskatchewan lentil salad, honey mustard vinaigrette, because both lentils and mustard are so important. We have the original vessel that would house this stew that we made. And this is where you get your jus from. Because I would eat all this and all this. And then on a beautiful plate, the baguette even got hit by red wine. That was probably something to do with the wasps. But nonetheless, we've elevated it on a really beautiful plate. And this is something that I would eat any day of the week. So you take this. I know we're going to want to get some close-ups after, but I would go right in here, pull it out and take a big bite. But we're going to get some shots first before we do that.
Dev, it looks so good. Amazing, amazing recipes.